Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Minnesota Vikings in tonight's video. As you guys know, very big on this football team. I did not predict them to win 14 games last season, but we did predict them to make the playoffs and be a competent, that makes no sense, a competent and coherent football team. And I have the same philosophy. In fact, I would actually even argue, I just saw the Jordan Addison 3-game suspension news. I would even argue this team top to bottom's better. I think genuinely this team top to bottom is better than they were last season, which should terrify people because once again, people's expectations on this Vikings team's very low. It's pretty much only because of J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy, it's interesting, these Michigan boys, these Big Ten kids in general, especially quarterbacks, I feel like they're very hated. I think they're very hated, and to be honest with you, as a Notre Dame kid, I didn't go there, just a biased fan from the area, I get it. As a Notre Dame fanboy, I am not a huge Michigan supporter. I'm not a huge Ohio State supporter. So I, maybe get the national media doesn't really like these kids, but this team in general, like I keep saying, is better top to bottom. And I think you look at a lot of these moves like Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, Donovan Jackson, that's a utter game changer. And Vikings fans have been in my comments. You guys have been, commenting on my Vikings vids, my NFC North videos, and you guys been preaching from the rooftops. And I make plenty of Vikings content on this channel in general, but I do want to just kind of get back to doing it more because, to be honest with you, for some weird reason, because one of them was drafted as the last pick in the NFL draft, and the other was pretty much a lottery first round draft pick if the lottery existed in the NFL. And I'm saying Brock Purdy kind of reminds me of J.J. McCarthy or vice versa. I don't really know what it is. Maybe it's just kind of being like nobody's really talking about these kids. But like I said, Brock Purdy was a 7th round draft pick who came in because Jimmy Garoppolo ended up getting hurt. But two phenomenal head coaches, two phenomenal offensive-minded head coaches. Now the Vikings, I think everybody can confidently and comfortably say they have a phenomenal offensive line. Top to bottom, 1 through 5, it's a great offensive line. I know the Jordan Addison move, or the suspension I should say, is a little unfortunate, but if you guys been paying attention, first off, here's the thing. If Jordan Addison if this was like last year, maybe, because TJ Hawkinson wasn't healthy, but that's the big catalyst to me is Justin Jefferson's, right, don't even need to say anything about him. Jalen Nailor, I guess, is one of those if you know, you know. I don't have to explain to a Vikings fan why I like Jalen Nailor. TJ Hawkinson's healthy, and Aaron Jones is healthy, and then, even Jordan Mason, and then we could get even a little bit more nicher with Rondale Moore and Ty Felton, but then we could go even more nicher because I saw the depth chart today. Lucky Jackson's wide receiver number 4 on the depth chart right now. He's wide receiver number 4. This is a dude who got drafted years ago. He has been a practice squad baller for Minnesota the last few seasons, and we have heard nothing but praise through training camp in the entire summer. So even defensively, I look at this team, and I'm just kind of riffing off the dome because it's August 6th, and sorry, I don't know when the Vikings' first preseason game is. I will definitely watch it, and we'll definitely talk about it on this channel. So hit that like button, hit that sub button if you guys haven't already. But I look at this defense on paper, and it's just good. It's a really solid team. That defensive line's really intriguing with Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave being brought over. Isaiah Rodgers, one of these kids in that defensive back room where just kind of, I think, flies under the radar. I've been seeing Josh Metellus been tweeting a little bit. People don't even really know who Josh Metellus is in general. Bring back Harrison Smith. Byron Murphy coming back is also huge. Jeff Okudah, a little intriguing there. Mekhi Blackman, sorry. Is Mekhi Becton? Isn't he? Yeah, offensive lineman. Mekhi Blackman, my apologies, is back and he is healthy, or is going to be. Andrew Van Ginkel, Ivan Pace, and Blake Cashman are all returning. You've still got Dallas Turner, first-round draft pick from last season. People don't really know guys like Jalen Redmond, so I don't know. Many won 14 football games last season, and we covered it the entire time. And we covered them the entire summer last year. We covered their entire 14-game win season, and that interior offensive line was a huge fatal flaw, not only in that wild card loss in the first round. Sorry to even mention it, but it was just a huge. The offensive, like, Darisaw goes down, and what was it, week 6, week 8, something along those lines, and people don't really understand how big of a loss that is. And this team still almost won the NFC North, and you place them in any other conference, or sorry, any other division, and it's like, well, 14-win team is winning. They're a borderline number 1 team in the conference. So the Jordan Addison news, is a little disappointing in the case of, no Jordan Addison for the first 3 games, but you guys have been there before. It's perfectly fine. And like I said, I really love what I'm hearing from that wide receiver room as far as training camp goes. So we're like I said, we're kind of riffing off the dome. I just got back from Key West. It's like a 7+ hour drive, so I am extremely tired. And I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it because JJ McCarthy, I've been making some, YouTube shorts or TikToks or short form Twitter content, whatever you want to call it. I've been making a lot of videos on JJ, and he's been getting nothing but ragged. And I think I even saw a clip of I think it was Colin Cowherd saying I don't know, I'm not really buying this. I think the Vikings are hiding his training camp struggles. And somebody who makes NFL content every single day, pretty much every single day for years and years, training camp's so interesting because I can come here and sit behind the microphone and be like, this kid, whether it's JJ or somebody else, is lighting training camp up. And their fans will be, blunt with you, in a good way. Blunt's probably the wrong word. They'll be straight up. They'll buy it, they'll fade it, whatever it is. They're fans of the team. But then you get the rest of the NFL media. I don't know why, Caleb Williams, probably a bad example that comes to my mind. Matthew Golden, my wide receiver for my Green Bay Packers, comes to mind. There's just Shedeur Sanders even. There's just so many rookies and young players, or just anybody in training camp, where it's such an annoying narrative because whether I come here on the mic or somebody else comes here on the mic and is like, this kid's the real deal, you'll have people say, well, it's just training camp. And then you'll see some stupid viral tweet saying JJ McCarthy really struggled in training camp today, and everyone's, responding to it saying, called it, this kid's a bust, calling it right now, this kid's a bust. So it's just a weird narrative. It's a weird, NFL offseason in general because you can never win. You just can never win. Watching JJ play at Michigan, watching that one preseason game against Las Vegas, even without Jordan for the first couple of games, this kid's not going to have to do everything. I think people just get the quarterback position wrong all the time. It's just a weird position. It's the most critiqued. It's the most important position in the NFL, obviously. But I have, the Vikings could win 8 games. They could win 14 games. It's the same to me in the sense of, I think JJ McCarthy is the future of this team. They have a good roster, a good coaching staff behind him. I'm not really concerned if you think they're going to miss the playoffs or make the playoffs, right? Because I do like this team. So a little bit of a ramble video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you guys haven't already. Leave me all your thoughts on this Vikings team. Even a loose win-loss prediction would go a long way. And we'll see you soon. Peace.